Right, good morning guys. This is a straightforward job. Little Firefox 5 stove, very good little stove. Cheapish stove in the budget range, but a very good stove. Chinese of course, but yeah, still a good stove. So these, sometimes you can get the throat plate out without taking the brick out. But that just comes out, that basically sits in the top of the stove. You've got to take that out to sweep the chimney. So on a 5-inch line I use I think it's about 8-inch brush, but it's a fairly soft bristle. What you'll find, you'll see some chimney sweeps will use electric drill, spinning the rods. Highly recommend not using that system. It's quite good at cleaning a chimney. It's also quite good at doing some damage. A lot of what you do is by feel. So you sort of you feel your way up. If there's any issues, you can tell. Now this has got a stainless lining going from top to bottom. I know that because I've done it before. I've done this quite a few times over the years. If you're using the drill system, what you'll find is you can't feel if there's an issue with the liner until it's too late, till you've smashed a hole in it. Because if you imagine a drill, it's going to be spinning, I don't know how many RPM, but a lot more than you do by hand. So when you're sweeping, you push and twist, clockwise always, of course, because you run the risk of the rods coming undone. So you can get these locking rods, which is what they use when they're using the drill system. I am not a fan. I've heard of they've like a little button on the side to release the rod for each rod from each other. I'd heard of the rods hitting pointy bits inside a chimney. Obviously not on a liner, but if you've got a stone chimney, you might have something sticking out. If it hits the button in the right place, it disconnects the rods. So that's about that. It's sealed up. There's no, on this Firefox 5, there's no other air ventilation. So as I said, you push and twist as you go up. It's quite tall this, because this is it's a very big house. I've got two stoves. I've got a Firefox 5 and a Firefox 8. Yeah, this is a straightforward job. It won't take 15 minutes, to be honest. Took me 45 to get here, but yeah. So there's a little bit of physicality involved, because you're pushing. Well, on this, I think it's about 11 rods to the top of this. I think that's 9. 10. Might be more than 11, it's very tall. It's close. When you get near to the cowl, you just, because it's got a little hat on the top, so you just sort of go a bit steady. Maybe 12. No, that's it, that's it, that's it to the cowl. Feel it hitting it. I know from experience what to expect. Yeah, relatively straightforward. So on the way down, I'll push it up and down as I'm going down. The electronic method, it will just spin round and whack the hell out of the liner, which is great at getting soot off. it's just too brutal. Too brutal. These liners are very, very fragile. They're extreme. I think there's something like, they're twin wall, but there's something like 0.5 of a mil per skin, and they corrode because soot and water, or soot and moisture should I say, is very acidic. It eats at the stainless. So it doesn't matter whether it comes with a 10-year guarantee or a 25-year guarantee. When you read the small print, it ain't got a guarantee. And you get to know your customers, you know your chimneys. So like with this, I know it doesn't get heavy use. I don't ever get tons of soot out. Yeah. Well, they like to get it done because for safety reasons. Also, the liner, like I said, comes with a guarantee. Guarantee is always based on an annual sweep. Some liners, it's a biannual thing. So it depends on the company that's fitted it. I'm glad it's a Firefox, simple to dismantle, simple to put back together. You get some like clear view, expensive stoves. Absolute pain. And this is a good setup. There's nice, plenty of space around the stove. Stoves work on radiated heat. So the more air it gets around it, the more heat it gives off. This has got as much as you could possibly want, really. It's very good. And that's that as far as sweeping goes. They burn seasoned wood, well seasoned. Very little soot, powdery soot. So clearly good quality wood fuel. A lot of ash in it already, but that's clean that out. So what I always do, I scoop some into the cover, hold the cover up, put that in the box. Then when I carry it out, there's no risk of dust dropping. Hoover on, so it's a bit loud for a moment. So that's more or less it. Very straightforward in this particular case. You will sometimes see chimney sweeps who will have their hoover running while they're sweeping the chimney. If it was a particularly sooty chimney or you couldn't seal it up properly, then I could, you know, that's what you'd do. But this is, like I said, I know this chimney, I know that's not going to be an issue. Normally I do a smoke test. I'll not bother showing you, it's nothing exciting. So what I usually do is the masking tape I use to stick the cover on, I will use that to do the smoke test. And the reason I use that is because it gives off heat and it gives off a lot of smoke. So if you're going to get a leak, you'll know about it with this stuff. If you use pellets, many of them only last 30 seconds. They don't give off any heat. And the problem when you don't give off any heat is you're trying to get it to go up a cold pipe. A stainless cold pipe. From here on it'll be stainless. In a cold chimney, in a cold house that hasn't had it lit probably since last spring. So a pellet doesn't give an accurate draw of the chimney. So use something that gives off a little bit of heat. Some gas fitters will you put a blowtorch in the chimney, warm it, and then put a pellet in to make it draw. Not make it draw, help it draw. You've got to just know your job. Yeah, this is fairly straightforward, so I will put that in there. I'll look around for some matches because they're not here. And I forgot to bring me lighter, so I'll take this to the other room. So, right, I'm back, lighter. What you want to hear, ideally, you open the bottom up, put the top on the firefox. You won't be able to hear that, but I can hear it drawing. If you've got something like an open fire, also on certain chimneys you can actually hear it raw. But as you can see by the flames, they're drawing up nicely. What I'll do in 5 minutes is go upstairs and look and smell for smoke. But yeah, there's no liner issues with this. Like I said, you get to know your chimney. So shut that down, because when you're burning wood, you shut the bottom and you have the top open. That's right. And I know they burn wood. Oh, I know they've got smoke with fuel there, so they're doing that wrong. Right, okay, I'll shut that. Open that a bit, half. So that is how I sweep a chimney. Now you'll see people faffing about doing all sorts of stuff. I don't faff about. It's what I do for a job. I don't do anything else. I sweep chimneys. So there's no and the customer's not here, so I've nobody to chat to. That usually adds another quarter of an hour to the job because you chat away. But yeah, it's relatively straightforward. If it's a straightforward chimney like this, it's a straightforward chimney. So, all right, guys and gals, fellas and fellettes, boys and I don't know, boys and boyzones. Yeah, that don't fit. Anyway, you lot, that's it, over and out. I'll see you on the next one.